Welcome everyone. Thanks for attending today. The purpose of this brown bag is to introduce you to the Natural Resources Education Foundation of the Corps of Engineers. Some of our board of directors members today are going to explain its mission and its purposes and tell you how they might be able to help out with funding for some of your projects.
Good day and welcome, and thank you for coming to learn more about the Corps of Engineers Natural Resources Education Foundation. You might wonder, why did we start such a company or start such a foundation? Why did we do this? In 2006, one of our partners in the Corps asked if we would be interested to form a nonprofit friends group to help support the NRM of the Corps, help getting the funding for restoration and preservation and mitigation projects that are approved but unfunded. We too had been frustrated by the funding process, and we learned of some potential private sector players who would be willing to support projects, but there was no channel through which they could provide the support. So what can the foundation do to forward the natural resource management mission of the Corps? Well, for one thing, we can contact stakeholders. We can provide that channel. We can encourage their support of local and regional recreational facilities operated by the Corps. We can show them statistical benefits of partnering with local and regional friends groups. We're talking about maintenance projects and restoration projects, cultural preservation and mitigation programs, which are all part of the natural resources management mission and obligation of the Corps of Engineers. So the Corps Foundation is a membership nonprofit organization. Who can join? Frankly, everyone.
We were kind of astounded, I frankly was, that there were so many operations with the Corps Natural Resources Group. I had kind of focused most of my activity on a few that I knew in the Northwest as well as along the Lewis and Clark Trail, but we ended up getting what Darrell Lewis refers to as a measles map. I said, whoa, there's a lot going on out there. So, and actually what we've discovered in the process, we kind of knew it, but became more, I guess, obvious once we got involved in this, is that the Corps is the world's best kept secret. The natural resources portion of the Corps is actually, and you probably all know this, but I didn't know, it was the largest provider of recreation in the United States and perhaps North America. I wouldn't doubt that, and I don't know about the world, but anyway, it's you always think of the Park Service and the Forest Service and the BLM. Nobody mentions the Corps as being a provider of recreation. So really, that's part of our mission, is to educate the public about what's out there. And you guys are insiders, so you know the Corps. The outsiders out there are just completely ignorant of most of the activity that goes on out there. We have a link on the website that allows you to submit projects. You can help us out by actually going online, downloading the submission form, and filling it out. It's a whole new world having the foundation here, because we are allowed to actually go out and talk to potential sponsors who can help fund your project. You can't do that, but we can. So I can go to, as an extreme example perhaps, but go to Microsoft and say, hey, we'd like to put in a new visitor center at the ship canal. They said, whoa, that's kind of interesting. What do we get out of it? Well, we can give you recognition for participating. So we do have the okay to go after sponsors to help you complete your project.
We had 16 proposals last year, and we're looking forward to more proposals this year. Of the 3 that we selected, some of the reasons we selected them were the clarity and the completeness of the proposal, that we were able to immediately start work on trying to identify sponsors to help fund those. The first one that we actually awarded the money for, this picture right here, is for Barren River Lake. We funded a website development for a friends group for Barren River to help them increase their volunteer program to do both restoration and recreation programs on the project. The second picture there is at Cedar Creek Lake. They submitted a proposal, which is a rather ambitious one, for about $2.5 million to build a outdoor education annex on their regional visitor center. The good news, and I haven't even told the rest of the board this, They were able to get the construction of that funded under the stimulus bill because we worked with them and they had their package ready. So when they came out asking for shovel-ready projects, the construction part, which is about $1.5 million, got funded. So we'll work with them on finding sponsors to furnish the building, to provide the supplies and the exhibits and all that sort of thing. So they got the shell funded through the stimulus bill because they had prepared the proposal for this. So there's a lesson learned there for everybody, I think. The third one that was selected is a water safety program that was submitted jointly by Kansas City and Tulsa districts to develop some water safety materials that'll be used, it can be used across the country, frankly, for boat shows and for water safety education. The key thing we're looking for is what is the hook to get a corporate sponsor to provide the money? We do not fund labor and operations ordinary expenses. So if you're looking to fund a person for a year, we can't do that because there's no hook there for a corporate sponsor. But if it's a structure, if it's something we can put a brass plate on, if it's a program that they can have their logo at the bottom corner, those are the kind of things that are viable proposals for us. Ask in your proposal if in your region there are potential sponsors that you think either give grants or would be a logical partner. Please identify those. That helps your proposal kind of rise to the top. The benefits. Clearly articulate the benefits, so that helps us when we go to those sponsors to say what's in it for the public and what would be the good PR for them. Clearly identify the cost, schedule, and amount. And get specific results, as I said, something that could be pictured in a magazine article or written up in a newspaper article that the sponsors can show off later as part of their good public works in helping the Corps. We've got an active website. We're developing an e-newsletter. We are targeting to try to get together at least once every other year for a membership meeting, usually in conjunction with the Corps' Natural Resource Program, wherever they have their next conference. And it just feels good having been part of the Corps, retiring and being able to help contribute.